W- Welcome to another edition of Regan's Corner Sports Network, where the athletes come first. Next stop, La Crosse, Indiana. Okay, for Tri-Township, 3-star athlete, Avery Hendrixson. Avery, how are you doing? How is the program, and how are you doing this Sunday morning?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, pretty good. So, how did you start in basketball?
I started in 5th grade. I kind of like right when I started playing, I kind of knew it was my sport. So then I started like playing travel basketball and I haven't stopped since my senior year, which is my last year I could play.
Absolutely. So, did you kind of start cross country as a good conditioning tool for basketball?
Yeah, I think that's like the only reason a lot of us do it out like Tri-Township or lacrosse. But yeah, like I mean I just use it to get in condition. I don't do it really for the actual running.
Absolutely. So, how do you judge kind of time wise when you play two multiple sports like that with volleyball and cross country?
I think the coaches play a big role in that because they know it's such a small school that all of the players have to play both sports, and we also do it to get in conditioning for other sports. So I feel like they play a good role in communicating and with practice times and game times.
Absolutely. So, kind of stepping into your freshman year here at lacrosse. So, what was kind of the moment like that you felt kind of stepping into that historic gym the first time, or the first time as a high school athlete?
I went to games like before that in my 8th grade and I watched them play and I knew that like oh that was gonna be me next year and I had to work for it. So I think like it was honestly like it I started early, so I kinda knew what to expect and how everything was going to go. So
Absolutely, absolutely. So, what are some things that you want to talk to kind of with the freshmen and eighth graders and even underclassmen to you, like some advice that you've learned over the years?
honestly, I mean, don't miss practice. I mean, it's like you can I mean if it's for a cause, yeah, but like put in the work and just like try and be a leader as best as you can.
Absolutely. Okay, so what are some of the superstitions that you have going into playing volleyball, playing basketball, and doing cross country?
Okay, so for basketball, I feel like that's the main one I have superstitions about. I don't really have superstitions with volleyball or cross country because I mean it's kind of the same thing. But basketball, like I have to go in there, I have to do my same warm up every day, and sometimes it's like I have to wear my hair the same way. It's like it gets to the point where it's really bad, and like I don't know. It just I have to do like the same things every day. Sometimes I have to eat the same thing right before the game, and most of the time it's cereal, but it's okay.
Absolutely. So, coming into this year, what was kind of like the training like in the off season
Like over the summer?
over summer? Yep. Hmm.
Um, we we well, we started in June and we went to a lot of shootouts and we saw like what we were capable of and we started out pretty good to be honest. Um, we went to it was I don't know where it was, but it was somewhere like in the south. And we went 3-0 against like big schools. So that was I feel like that like started us and showed what we could do during the actual season. And then we just kept with it and started conditioning and working harder. We condition with a ball in our hand, unless we do something stupid, then we get on the line. But like we haven't really gotten on the line at all this year. And I think that it's important to condition with the ball in our hand rather than like just get on the line.
Absolutely agree with you. I feel like that should be more of the conditioning because if you're not good with the speed with the ball, I mean, what's kind of the point? I mean, you can get on the line all as you want, but if you're not dribbling it up the court or whatever, it's kind of iffy. But Um, kind of going into this year, what is some of your like goals as a team for this year in your senior year?
We all knew that this year was gonna be, like, a huge year for us because of how last year ended. It ended, with a bad loss in sectional, and that's not how we wanted that last year to end, so we know that this year is gonna be a big year. We got changed sectionals, which we are very excited about because our old sectional was kind of, boring. No one came because it was far away. It was quiet. So we're very excited to go to a new sectional and play in like bigger gyms with a lot more atmosphere and a lot more people where it gets louder. So I feel like that's one of our bigger goals is winning the PCC and winning sectional, but also like me knowing I have to take that leadership role and not freak out on the court and just be there for all the girls, like, that's a big, big goal for myself too.
Absolutely. And plus, most of the PCC schools and stuff like that are in a different sectional. So to kind of get into a sectional that's closer to you guys and kind of get
Right,
into gyms like a Culver or a Trident's, kind of where the atmosphere is outstanding constantly with the sectionals and stuff like that, where the atmosphere of Indiana basketball is well alive. So
right.
I kind of
Just crazy because
in that
we
area.
could what?
No, go ahead. Avery.
Okay. It's just crazy because we could honestly end up playing, Couts, Washington 3 times this season, so it's what we're preparing for.
Absolutely. We just had the Couts Mustangs or Phillies uh,
Yeah.
on Thursday. Um, and we're going to rebroadcast them tonight on the Populcast. So that would be a nice little scouting um,
Yeah.
for you guys. But anyway, let's get back to you a little bit. Okay. So,
Okay.
what are some of your goals this year for basketball?
Um I think, like, the leadership, I knew last year that I was gonna have to take that role and just, like, again, after, like, the tough loss last year, I knew, like, that's not gonna happen again, like, we're gonna go in I have to get everyone's heads in it and knowing, like so I feel like that's the biggest goal for me is getting everyone's heads in the right spot and knowing, like, what our team goals are as well as what my goals, like, what I want to happen, so I feel like that one's big.
Absolutely. So, what kind of defense do you guys usually kind of run? And what's your favorite kind of defense to run over the last 3 years?
So we kinda switch it up each time. We usually go off the scouting report, how other like, how who we have to watch out for and stuff like that, so it's really changed a lot, but I think my favorite is I think maybe 2-3, 'cause, I mean, it works for us, but, like, I also love man-to-man defense because, like, sometimes you just have to do what works, um, and I feel like just go I've had to, like, face guard girls before, so I feel like that's fun as well. Like, just getting in their business, because no one likes it, so I feel like face guarding is real fun as well.
Absolutely. So, what are some of the funniest moments on a bus ride or a long bus ride to some of these longer trips that you take throughout the season?
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, I only have 1 because I usually sleep on the bus, but this one is from my freshman year, and we went down to Covenant Christian, and we just took a tough loss, and our coach told us, "There's no talking, there's no being on our phones, like, there's no laughing, like, nothing of the sort." Um, so, of course, he was really mad, and so he told us, again, if he hears any of us, we're running when we get back to the gym. Well, one of the girls named Sammy Vance, she, started choking on an Uncrustable in the back, and we all just couldn't stop laughing, and, the heat was on full blast, so everyone was sweating, like, it was really bad. Um, and so we were all trying not to laugh, and, like, like, eventually she coughed it up, and, we told McGowan about it the next day, and we all had a good laugh, so, I feel like that was the funniest one because we were all, like, scared at the same time, but also, like, couldn't help it.
I mean, if your teammates choking in the back, you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I think McCone would have understood it, a little bit of a nervous
Yeah,
laugh there.
right.
But okay, so what is your favorite like training exercise for any sport that you're doing? Because there's
Ooh,
several different things for volleyball, for cross country, for basketball.
okay, so I'll say, like, something about cross country. I'm not, like, a big runner, but, just when she tells us, like, 2 miles, I think that's, like, the perfect, training for us, you know, because 'Cause we're not really doing it for, like, the really running part, you know? But basketball, I'd
Mhm.
say the biggest, training would that I like, oh, this is hard, is 11 man. You know, when he just, like, puts 10 minutes on the clock and we just start running, like, with the ball. I feel like that's fun because you actually get, like, scrimmage action, but also, like, it's, like, 3v2, so I think that's the best one.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, what are kind of your favorite positions on the basketball floor?
I don't like being, like, the point guard, like, I'll do it if I have to because you know, I'll step up and do it, but, I really like, the I think it's a forward. Yeah, I like playing, like, forwards, so, like a shooting guard kind of.
Okay, nice. Who are you marking on your schedule this year for your senior year here in the basketball season, the early stages in the season?
So we've already played so I feel like the PCC is the biggest, like, what we look for, like, if there's, a PCC game and then just not a PCC game, we focus on the PCC game first. So we played Westville recently, and our next week, we have Hebron, and then we also have Northwest. So we're gonna prepare for Hebron next week mostly. We got into the so, like, we had Westville on Friday, and then Saturday, we had, Covenant Christian, and what we did was we practiced for Westville all week, and then we got in the gym early yesterday, and we went over t Covenant Christian's stuff, so
Absolutely. So, how was the Westville game? What was kind of the vibe like in that atmosphere with that big rivalry of a game?
So, it was our pink out night, and that brought a lot of people in, so it was very loud and stuff like that, but, we had no idea what they were going to do because of, like, the coaching situation and everything like that. They lost a couple girls last year. Some girls were sick this year, and, we had no idea, but we did have a feeling that they were gonna come out in a 1-3-1. And so they showed up with that and, like, towards the ending of the game. But they played, I think, a 2-3 most of the game, and we just ran our offense the way we usually do, and it worked for us really well.
Absolutely. So, is Westville kind of a good kind of measuring stick before you get like the Coutts and the South Centrals of the worlds and kind of like this, and even the Washingtons and the Morgan Townships, because it seems like it's anyone's kind of grab in the PCC this year.
Right. I think Westville's great, like, they are like, all the girls are so sweet. But yeah, I feel like we use that as, like, a confidence builder boost, you know, just to get ready for the Couts and South Central and Morgan because, you know, those aren't gonna be tough, those aren't gonna be tough, teams to match up with. They're good matchups with us, so I feel like, yeah, we use them a little bit to, you know, get in the go of things, build our confidence and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. So, okay. I like to hear that. I like it. I like it. And plus, with Regan's Corner Sports Network, you have numerous scouting chances with the South Central satellites. But um, let's see here. What are some players that you're kind of looking forward to playing against on this year?
So we always prepare for Allison Capuch from Couts, which you know, I know her very well from travel basketball, so we're very excited to play them because we want that win. But I feel like playing travel basketball, it also helps with like knowing because we just know a lot of people around the PCC, so I feel like that helps. And like Washington, like Gracie Little and Claire Klinger, like we're gonna be ready for them. Um, Morgan Township, Victoria, and Peyton. Um, so yeah, and then South Central, like we're we get prepared from the scouting report, so it helps.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, for your skills, going back a little bit, do you think AU has done wonders for your development here going into your senior year?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I feel like practicing more, getting into the gym more, like, has helped my ball handling tremendously because, I didn't play, travel basketball my 8th grade year, and then I did or my freshman year, but then I did my sophomore, junior, and senior year because I had a broken ankle my freshman year, so I couldn't. But, I feel like just getting into the gym and getting shots up and working on my ball handling has helped like, tremendously because I probably wouldn't be able to dribble a ball if it wasn't for AAU basketball.
Absolutely. So you said that your ankle was broke and stuff like that. So was it kind of in the long run, this could sound bad, but beneficial from you kind of looking and learning from kind of in the sidelines of the plays of kind of what the girls were doing, kind of taking a mindset. I know you were young at the time, being a freshman. So, yeah.
So when I had my broken ankle, it was during volleyball and cross country season, and I had surgery,
Oh,
like, before that. So I got back to basketball really quickly, and I was able to play my freshman year, a little during basketball, but I couldn't play for cross country or volleyball.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So we go into our segment here called the Hot Corner, where we get to know you a little bit more, Avery. Okay. So, what is your favorite sports movie of all time?
Ooh. I actually okay, what is it called? What's The Blind Side. I really like The Blind Side. That's a good movie.
It's a great movie. What's the go-to meal before a game or after a game?
Okay, so it's gonna sound really weird, but, like, cereal, I really like cereal. Like, that's before the game. After the game, like, I either go out with my friends or, like, my mom gets me something, like, from Velveeta, but, yeah, I eat cereal before the games.
Absolutely. Okay. So, who has the best mascot in the PCC?
Ooh, that's hard. Let's think. Oh, I don't know. Other than us, 'cause, tigers are great. I'd say probably oh, this one's hard. I'd say, probably I don't wanna give them credit, but South Central, I really like, the satellites. I think that's really I like that one, but lacrosse is definitely better. Tigers are better.
Yeah, go Tigers. Okay. But but let's see here. What are some things you're looking forward to doing after high school?
So I want to go to Purdue, but I haven't received my acceptance letter yet. That comes out in January. So if I don't get into Purdue, then I'm gonna go to IUPUI. And I don't really know my major yet.
Nice.
I've thought about occupational therapy, but I'm not for sure. So I'm still figuring that out and like just seeing if something sticks out to me as, I get closer to graduation.
Absolutely. Okay. Still got numerous years to figure it out. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
but I like that you're on the track. Okay. So with basketball, what are some of the goals for basketball this year? I know we've asked this before, but kind of with the sectional and stuff like that. So, what are some goals and for the end of the basketball season?
Again, we took a hard loss in sectional last year, so that's why we're happy to get out of that sectional. So we're happy to be in the new sectional with Morgan Township and Washington and Couts, and then we just beat one of our opponents in the sectional last night. So that's very exciting for us, and that this is all we want is we really just want to win that sectional and cut down those nets. Like that's like the biggest thing for us this year. And that's what we're working towards. I feel like that's really all games matter and it's one game at a time, but I feel like those are the biggest games is in sectional.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, as a shooting guard, okay, at a school like lacrosse and stuff like that, um, what are some things that you feel like you need to learn, work on, to even get better this year throughout the year and kind of cut down those nets and talk about leadership and stuff like that? But individually, what are some skills that you need to still work on?
I do think I need to handle myself under pressure. I get kind of like I just need to like calm down a little bit. I have to learn that. I kind of just we have 3 other guards, Addie Gorski, Miranda Wozniak, and Sydney Hudson that help tremendously, so that, like, I can get into the corner. Because a lot of teams, they 2-3 us or 3-2 us. I don't I think we faced, like, 1 or 2 teams this year so far that's played man to man on us. So, just getting us down me and Addie Gorski down the court so we can push the ball up to us to either get it to our posts or get, like, helps, like, that's, biggest skill. It's, like, not standing on the three-point line waiting for a shot, actually driving and taking it to the hole.
Absolutely. Okay. So, what are some things with like getting interviewed and stuff like that that kind of like can make somebody uh like nervous or kind of feel kind of anxiety a little bit?
Yeah, no, it's definitely nerve-wracking. I was interviewed a couple times last year, and then, uh for WKVI, it's definitely nerve-wracking, but, like, I mean, just knowing, like, just being confident when you speak, that helps. It kinda takes away the nerves when you kinda get into it. Before, it's scary, but when you're, like, doing it, it's fine.
Absolutely. So what is the mental side of basketball?
Okay, so I have a great support system. My family, um, my coaches do a great job of, like, supporting us for sure, and my family does as well. Um I mean, you're in the gym day in and day out, it's tiring, but, like, just being with the girls and, like, that's rewarding, like, playing with your best friends every day, going to practice, we're with them every day. Um, I think it's also helpful because my cousin is one of the coaches, and she helps assist and just looking at her, like, when I'm on the court and I need to calm down for reassurance really helps as well, the mental part because, I kind of freak out and I just don't really know who else to look to besides my mom. My mom helps with that a lot too. Are just like, "Calm down, relax," and I feel like that's really important for the mental aspect. It's just having people there to support you.
Absolutely, absolutely, because it can be a grind, playing about year round, and because I've been in your shoes before, where it's like, hey, I just want to play for the love of game, and then you have somebody on you constantly about this coverage, that zone, this, that.
Right.
So I totally get it. So what do you do for like self care? Kind of because you said about having your cousin on staff and your mom and stuff like that. But
I mean, I don't
yeah,
really do much, like, if my legs hurt or anything, like, I'll ice, of course, like, I stretch, but, like, self-care, like, I don't really do much. I mean, I just look to my family for support, and they're just always there, so I feel like that's really all I need, really.
absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so thank you for coming on here at Regan's Corner Sports Network. Uh, hope to have you some other time throughout the year. So stay froggy, my friend.
Have a good day.
You too.